This is one of those moments when law, politics, and power collide head on, and the battlefront is the Supreme Court of Nigeria. Lagos State has dragged the National Assembly before the Apex Court, not just for violating a law, but for defying the Supreme Court judgment itself. And this time, the word on the table is contempt. To understand what's happening, we have to rewind a bit. Back in November 2024, the Supreme Court delivered a landmark judgment, case number SC1 2008. General of Lagos State versus Attorney General of a Federation. In that case, the Apex Court made it crystal clear lottery and gaming are not matters for the National Assembly. They belong to the state. Lagos won that battle, and the ruling effectively struck down the National Lottery Act as unconstitutional. The logic was simple. Lottery and gaming are not listed in either the exclusive or the concurrent legislative list in the Constitution, meaning the federal government has no business making laws on it. But fast forward to 2025, and Lagos is saying the National Assembly didn't get the memo. According to the court filings obtained by Newsroom Naija, Lagos accuses the National Assembly of pushing ahead with a central gaming bill, a federal law to regulate gaming, lottery, and online betting across Nigeria, despite the Supreme Court's earlier judgment. Now, this isn't where it gets serious. Lagos says the proposed bill repeats the exact same provisions the Supreme Court already declared void, and worse, it includes something called Clause 62, which tries to save actions taken under the old illegal National Lottery Act. In plain English, that's like saying, we know the court cancelled this law, but we are bringing it back anyway. So what exactly is Lagos doing now? They have gone to Supreme Court again, not to file a new case, but to enforce the old judgment. They filed a motion through Senior Advocate of Nigeria, Bode Olanipekun, calling the court for leave to issue what's called Form 48. In Nigerian law, Form 48 is a warning shot. It's an official notice that says you are disobeying a court order. If you don't stop, you could be committed to prison. In short, Lagos wants the National Assembly, the lawmakers themselves, to be cautioned for contempt of court. This fight goes deeper than gaming or lottery. It's a battle over federal power. Because if the Supreme Court already said lottery is a state matter and the National Assembly still tries to legislate on it, what does that say about respect for judicial authority? The Constitution divides lawmaking powers into two lists: the exclusive list, which only the federal government controls, and the concurrent list, which both the federal and state governments can legislate on. Lottery and gaming appears in neither, and that's exactly what the Supreme Court ruled in 2024. So unless the Constitution is amended, the National Assembly simply doesn't have a power to legislate on it. Now, why should you care about this? Well, let's paint a picture. The gaming and betting industry in Nigeria is worth billions of naira. It employs thousands. Lagos alone licenses and taxes hundreds of betting operators every year. If a federal government passes its own law, it could mean double legislation, double taxation, and total confusion. For operators, that means more paperwork and less profit. For Lagos State, it's lost revenue and a weakened authority. And for everyday Nigerians, it could be the difference between a fair game and a rigged one. This case could test the very strength of Nigeria's federal structure, because if a state can accuse the National Assembly of contempt and win, it sends a powerful message. Even lawmakers are not above the law. But politically, it's very tricky. The National Assembly may argue that gaming involves interstate trade, which is federal territory. They could cite item 62 on the exclusive list, trade and commerce, and claim that online gaming crosses state lines. Lagos, on the other hand, says it's a stretch. They insist the 2024 Supreme Court judgment already rejected that logic. So the big question now is, will the Supreme Court issue Form 48 against the National Assembly? Or if it does, what happens next? To make sense of how rare this is, let's use a quick illustration. Imagine a referee blows the whistle in a football match and one of the teams says, "We don't care, we'll keep playing." That's what Lagos is accusing the National Assembly of doing, ignoring the referee, who in this case is the Supreme Court. And Form 48, that's the referee's yellow card. If they keep going, next comes Form 49, the red card, which can mean jail time or sanctions. Public reaction has been mixed. Some Nigerians say Lagos is defending the rule of law. Others think it's overreach, that states should work with, not against the federal legislature. For now, the ball is in the Supreme Court's court, literally. The motion for leave is pending, and if granted, it could open a historic contempt proceeding against the whole arm of government. If that happens, we will be witnessing something unprecedented: the judiciary holding the legislature accountable for disobedience. At its heart, this isn't just about gambling, it's about governance, it's about the rule of law, and it's about whether Nigeria truly practices what its constitution preaches, that no one is above the law. We'll keep following the story, and you can be sure that when the Supreme Court makes its next move, you will hear it first right here on Newsroom Naija. If you found this analysis helpful, please hit the like button, subscribe, turn on the post notification bell as well so you never miss stories that matter. This is Newsroom Naija, and I'm your host as always, Oluwayomi Timlola. I will see you all in my next video. Bye for now.